Water has one rule. It moves downhill. It always has. Rivers carve valleys. Rain finds the lowest point. Oceans accept everything. And yet, in the desert of the American Southwest, at one of the most powerful engineering sites on Earth, there is a place where water appears to forget that rule. Visitors pour it from bottles. Watch it creep upward along concrete. See streams bend against expectation. Not rushing, not splashing. Climbing. This place sits near Hoover Dam, and what happens here does not roar. It unsettles. Because when water misbehaves, something deep inside the human mind pays attention. Hoover Dam rises from Black Canyon on the border of Nevada and Arizona. A wall of concrete nearly as tall as a skyscraper, holding back Lake Mead, taming the Colorado River. Around it stretches desert. Vast. Bright. Unforgiving. The land rolls in long slopes and sudden drops. Rock faces shimmer in heat. Distances lie. The sky dominates everything. Here, horizons distort. Heat bends air. Light fractures edges. The earth becomes difficult to measure. This is not a place built for subtlety. And yet, hidden among its immensity, is one of the quietest illusions on Earth. Not everyone comes to Hoover Dam for gravity illusions. They come for history, for scale, for power. But many leave having visited a much smaller site. A slope near the dam where guides and locals invite people to try something simple. Pour water. Stand back. Watch. The concrete appears to rise. The water moves toward higher ground. People repeat it, again and again. Sometimes with soda, sometimes with pebbles, sometimes with toy cars. Each time, the same soft rebellion. The world insists the slope is up. And yet, everything slides toward it. When a car rolls uphill, we look for tricks. When a person leans, we accept illusion. But water feels honest. It has no engine, no intention, no desire. It simply obeys. So when water appears to disobey gravity, the mind struggles to reframe it. There is no personality to blame, no machine to doubt, just motion. And motion should tell the truth. The Hoover Dam Gravity Hill is not one location. Several slopes around the dam produce the same experience. They share the same traits. Tilted terrain, Hidden horizons. Dominant background slopes. The surrounding land descends steeply. The foreground descends gently. The brain compares the two and assigns the wrong direction. Your eyes lock onto distant rock walls. They feel level. So the nearer slope must be rising. Once that belief forms, motion is reinterpreted. Water flowing downhill becomes water flowing up. The human brain treats moving water as environmental truth. We evolved around rivers, around rainfall, around streams that told us where safety lay. Water taught us where to drink, where to build, where danger waited. So when water moves, we trust it, more than objects, more than tools. At Hoover Dam's gravity hills, that trust is redirected. The motion is real. The interpretation is not. And that conflict lingers. People kneel. They touch the concrete. They feel it with their hands. Some place small balls beside the water. They roll the same way. Some use phone apps. They read the slope. Down. The evidence accumulates. But the feeling does not retreat. Because the illusion is not visual alone. It is relational. The entire landscape supports it. The desert removes vertical anchors. The canyon hides horizons. The dam's geometry fractures reference. The eye cannot find neutral ground. So it invents it. Hoover Dam intensifies the illusion, not by trickery, but by scale. The mind struggles in large spaces. It misjudges height, distance, slope. When the environment exceeds familiar proportions, the brain simplifies. It anchors to dominant forms. At Hoover Dam, those forms lie. Not intentionally, but effectively. And the more convincing the setting, the stronger the illusion. In the mystery spot, objects disobeyed. At Magnetic Hill, machines did. At the Oregon Vortex, the body did. Here, water does. Each step brings us closer to the foundations of trust. Objects can be staged. Machines can malfunction. Bodies can be tricked. But water feels universal. So when it appears to forget gravity, the illusion feels elemental. People do not travel to gravity hills for answers. They travel for experience. For the moment when the world quietly breaks a rule. Not loudly, not violently, but gently. Enough to slip into memory. These places endure because they offer something rare. Not confusion, but wonder. A safe disruption of certainty. A reminder that perception is not passive. It participates. The dam was built to control water, to impose order, to bend rivers to human intention. And nearby, a small slope reminds us how easily order can feel undone. Not in physics, but in the mind. The water obeys gravity. The earth remains faithful to its laws. But perception remains negotiable. In the desert, people still pour water. They still watch. They still feel that small, quiet hesitation. That moment when something ancient seems to pause. Hoover Dam's gravity hills do not change the behaviour of water. They change the story the brain tells about it. And once that story shifts, even the simplest motion can feel like a mystery. Because if water can appear to forget gravity, perhaps certainty itself is more fragile than we imagine. Next time, we travel to the edge of a waterfall, where people sit calmly in a place they should never survive. A place known as the Devil's Pool.